A storm like no other. When the seas boiled and the winds howled, nature wrote a new chapter in history. The day before yesterday, Hurricane Melissa slammed into Jamaica with the force of a monster, and afterwards crossing into Cuba, leaving devastation in its path. Could this be the hurricane of the century? Hurricane Melissa began as a tropical wave off West Africa in mid-October, gradually organizing as it crossed the Atlantic. By October 21st, it had become Tropical Storm Melissa. What made it especially dangerous was the unusually warm Caribbean waters and weak steering currents, allowing it to stall and soak up enormous energy. But Melissa didn't just inch upward, it exploded. In under 48 hours, it ramped from a tropical storm all the way to Category 5 strength. At its peak, it registered sustained winds of about 185 miles per hour and a central pressure near 892 millibars, tying it with some of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record. Such extreme intensification has become more likely under warming sea surfaces and abundant moisture, trends that many scientists link to climate change. Late Tuesday, Melissa made a catastrophic landfall in southwestern Jamaica near the town of New Hope. With sustained winds still at a terrifying 185 miles per hour, this makes it the strongest hurricane ever to hit the island nation. St. Elizabeth Parish was reported to be underwater, with vast flooding sweeping away homes and roads. Around 530,000 people lost power, and essential infrastructure, hospitals, water systems, and roads was extensively damaged. Early reports have confirmed 4 deaths in Jamaica, while at least 20 others have died in Haiti in flooding caused by the storm. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared Jamaica a disaster area, mobilizing the military and relief efforts. One scene of the devastation comes from Black River, where roofs were ripped from buildings, hospitals flooded, and rescuers struggled to reach completely cut-off neighborhoods. Within hours of passing Jamaica, Melissa struck eastern Cuba early Wednesday near the town of Chivirico. It had weakened slightly to a Category 3 hurricane, but still packed sustained winds of around 115 miles per hour. Cuban authorities had proactively evacuated over 735,000 people from provinces including Granma, Santiago de Cuba, Guantanamo, and Holguin. Warnings were issued for up to 25 inches of rain in the mountainous terrain, along with storm surges reaching 12 feet. After crossing Cuba, Melissa is expected to barrel toward the southeastern Bahamas and potentially pass near Bermuda later this week. By late Wednesday, it had weakened to a Category 2 with winds near 100 miles per hour, though it remains a very dangerous storm. So what makes this storm stand out? Let's put it side by side with past monsters. Katrina in 2005 had peak winds of 175 miles per hour and caused catastrophic flooding in New Orleans. Dorian in 2019 had 185 mile per hour winds at landfall in the Bahamas, becoming one of the deadliest Atlantic storms. Maria in 2017 hit Puerto Rico as a Category 5, leading to nearly 3,000 deaths. Melissa recorded 185 mile per hour winds at its Jamaican landfall, tying it with Dorian and the 1935 Labor Day hurricane for the strongest Atlantic landfall winds on record. It also intensified more rapidly and over warmer waters than many past storms, a clear warning sign of shifting cyclone behavior in a warming climate. For Jamaica, Melissa is already being called the storm of the century. But why did Melissa become so extreme? There were 3 key ingredients. First, exceptionally warm ocean waters. Sea surface temperatures in parts of the Caribbean were 2 to 3 degrees Celsius above normal, giving the storm extra fuel. Second, low wind shear. This allowed the storm to maintain its powerful vertical structure and intensify without being torn apart. And third, its slow movement. Weak steering currents caused Melissa to linger near land, extending the destructive window for wind, rain, and storm surge. Climate scientists warn that while not every hurricane will be a Melissa, the odds of storms that intensify this rapidly and reach such extreme peak strengths are rising. Melissa's legacy won't just be in broken buildings. It will reshape how vulnerable nations approach preparation, recovery, and climate adaptation. The key challenges ahead are immense. Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas face enormous reconstruction needs for housing, roads, power grids, agriculture, and health systems. preparedness must be upgraded, from forecasting and communication to building codes and emergency infrastructure. This also brings up the issue of equity and climate justice. Many in the Caribbean argue that wealthy, high-emission nations must step up with aid, debt relief, and adaptation funds. Scientifically, Melissa will be studied for years, both as a warning and a case study in future storm behavior, because the question isn't if another Melissa-type storm will strike, it's when, and whether we are ready may define the difference between survival and crisis. Hurricane Melissa showed us nature's ferocity and humanity's resilience, but it also sounded a warning. More extreme storms are coming. If this video gave you some insight, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share it. And let us not forget, the next once-in-a-century storm may already be knocking. Let us know in the comments. Do you think monster storms are going to increase in the future? What do you think needs to be done to avert this? Thanks for watching.